Hey, what's up, guys? Toogie here, back again with another episode of my Montreal Canadiens franchise mode series right here on NHL 18. And today, well, we continue on with the sim of the 2021-2022 season, 2020-2020. The last episode was tremendous. I mean, really it was. We made some last second changes to the team. We ended up simming the first 22 games of the season, and so far so good. A 16-5-1 record that's good enough to be in second place in the division. Of course, we're 2 points back of Florida. We've played 4 fewer games, so we're in a tremendous spot right now. But of course, it's still, it's a little bit early. Things could still go wrong, but for now, I'm feeling pretty good. Of course, the big story has probably been the injury bug. Of course, Max Pacioretty has missed some time. Currently, Josh Norris and Jesse Puljujarvi are currently injured, which explains why Joel Farabee is there. But, we've talked about his attributes before. I am confident that he can step into this role. He does have 1 goal in 2 games. I'm confident that he can step into that role and have some success. I mean, this team's been looking good. The main question has been goaltending. Carey Price only had a .913 save percentage, but like I always say, imagine if he gets his game going and he gets up to a .930 save percentage. How difficult are we going to be? Or how difficult is it going to be to beat us at that point? Michael McNiven, though, definitely some question marks about him at this point. 3 games played, he has struggled, but we'll see what happens moving forward. And actually, we'll check the free agent list really quickly, I should say, just to see if there are any options there. I don't believe that there are at this stage. Yeah, certainly no forward or skater help, no help goaltending-wise either. Charlie Lindgren was actually at the top of the list, so there is that. But yeah, we're basically good to go, unless I wanted to take advantage of, signing somebody mid-season, but obviously I haven't really taken advantage of that. I haven't really felt the need to take advantage of that. I don't know. Here, let's at least take a look, right? Before we get into the sim. Puljujarvi would have to be re-signed. Actually, you know what? While things are going well, I should probably talk to some of these players. So, let's see. The defense is clear. Forwards? Actually, hold on. No, the defense is not clear. I'm sorry. Juleson would have to be re-signed. Nurse. Quentin Hughes not wanting to re-sign at the moment, but I mean, you're an RFA, buddy, so you're not going to get much of a choice in the matter. Juleson would have to be signed. He's going to be looking for a lot, too. I think, you know what? Just for the hell of it, we haven't done this. Let's try the 85% trick here, so to speak. And again, I keep my phone on the other side of the room when I record as to not be distracted, so we'll bring up the old calculator app on my PC. I want to see how much money we can save, and if any players are willing to accept. This trick does still work on occasion, although it's definitely not as effective as it used to be in NHL 17 and prior to that as well. We'll go 4.3. God, if we could get Darnell Nurse for $4.3 million, that would be incredible. And then Quentin Hughes, again, who is an RFA, so I mean, there's no real risk of us losing him. It's just, can I get him to sign for cheap, and can I get him to commit right now? So that works. And of course, anybody in the system, like a Josh Brook, we can worry about signing him later. That's not a very big deal. So Puljujarvi is there. Melker Karlsson, I'm not worried about re-signing. Michael Frolik, I'm not really worried about re-signing, although he has done well for us. Same for Nick Shore. So we could worry about those players at a later date. Right now, the big name to worry about, of course, would be Puljujarvi. He is looking to get paid. No surprise there. But if I can knock that down to 7.2, that would be tremendous. So this is the early stages of negotiation. We are going to double check here with these players just to see if anyone's willing to sign for dirt cheap. In the meantime, let's get the sim going yet again. And we'll see if our luck can continue. Perhaps we overperformed in the last episode. I certainly hope not. I certainly hope that I didn't want to say certainly again, but then I started to say it. I don't know why. I certainly hope that it was a strong indication of just how good this team actually is. And we do start off today's episode with a 6-3 victory over Detroit, who are struggling. But hey, you want to win games, you should actually win. Darnell Nurse is back for cheap. Juleson is back for cheap. Hughes rejected, but so far, so good. Again, with Quentin Hughes, he can't go anywhere. He's an RFA. We will be fine. 17-5-1. Simon Bork was complaining about ice time. Mete goes down with a pulled groin. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. All right, the injury bug continues. Well, Simon Bork, you were complaining about ice time. Well, buddy, I got news for you. You're going to be the one that gets called up here because I do not want to risk losing Sam Girard. So let's call up Simon Bork. Although I could have sworn he shouldn't have been waiver eligible because we've already called him up, have we not? We've already called him up, so I'm kind of surprised. He is an offensive defenseman, so I'll just have him outright replace Victor Mete, so he will actually have power play time. I won't swap Darnell Nurse into that spot because that'll just cause more issues for me in terms of editing the lines as we move forward. So yeah, I've definitely put Numelin into the lineup before, so that is somewhat frustrating. We'll actually put Numelin with Mikko Salo, and there we'll go with that. We'll go with that lineup option, and things are looking good. By the way, Farabee, he is up to a 78, 2 goals so far. All right, so he's only taken 7 shots. He has a half decent shooting percentage, but unfortunately, the injuries can continue. And yes, Puljujärvi. On a whim, we decide to try the 85% trick. The big names are back. We do lose to the Blue Jackets 1-0, but still, so far, things have gone well for us in this episode. I am content now. Really, with the team, 1 win, 1 loss, and some injuries, so that kind of sucks. But I'm happy with how things have gone for us here. So far, all expiring deals. So again, Frolik. How much money do we have? $9 million? So yeah, we could easily bring Frolik and Nick Shore back. I don't see why we wouldn't, actually. Only reason why we wouldn't, potentially, is to, just see what we have as we head into free agency. But for the most part, I think we're good. I like what Nick Shore's brought to the team so far. So, I don't know. You know what? If I can... Now might be the time. If I can re-sign people for cheap at this point in time, now is the time to do so. So, Michael Frolik, how does 2.225 sound to you? Give us a little bit of a discount. 2-year deal at 35 years old is a little bit risky. Again, Quentin Hughes doesn't want to sign right now, so we'll actually leave him alone. There's actually no answer from Melker Karlsson or Nick Shore. Now again, Melker Karlsson, stat-wise, he's solid, but he's not really doing anything point-wise, is he? So, unlike Frolik and Philip Deneau, I think I'd rather get a better option than Karlsson. But Nick Shore, for me, is a tremendous fourth-line option. Why would I trade for asset? What the hell are you talking about, trade for asset? He's our player. All right, you know what? Maybe things are glitching out. For now, let's just move on. Let's just move on. We sent that offer to Frolik. Anybody else, we can take care of that after the draft, at the re-sign phase. That is not a big deal. Let's get back to simming here and see if we can avoid any major injuries. We'll sim this game against the Colorado Avalanche. It's a 4-2 loss. All right, 2 straight losses. Frolik will be back, which is nice. Again, a little bit risky to sign him to the deal that we did, but that's an easily movable contract. We beat the LA Kings 3-0 as we return home, and we beat the Caps 4-3 on home ice as well. So not a bad start, 3-2 through 5 games so far in this episode. We got a big game here against the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's a shootout loss, but at least we pick up the pity point, and then we get the 4-3 win over the Islanders. So I'm still feeling good. I'm still feeling good about how we are performing right now. Simon Bork, unfortunately, will be out of the lineup. Didn't do anything really point-wise. So Victor Mete is back. And we'll have to send down Simon Bork. Fingers crossed we don't lose him to waivers. That would be unfortunate. I really like him as the first call-up option. Okay, and he's actually not waiver eligible, so there you go. When we called him up, it said he was waiver eligible, but then when we send him back down, it's like, nah, he's fine. So, I don't know. It's just this game being weird. Is anybody currently injured right now? No, it's just Bork. Okay. I don't really want to go best lines here. But here, let me... Actually, here, you know what? Let's just go best lines for a minute. There we go. So it puts in Numelin by default, which is what it should have done to begin with. I was confused as to why Salo was in the lineup. And then let's see, forward-wise here. Quick and easy fix, really. We'll just put Bolig on the right. It has Emery in instead of Semin, which we have to change that. But other than that, we're basically good to go. I will swap Bitten with Garlock. And yeah, it looks good. I'm actually going to put, actually no, you're not. It's better to have Murray High Note on the top line. So hopefully, because I remembered Simon Bork complaining about ice time too. So I was thinking if I go best lines, maybe that'll sort things out. We play the Carolina Hurricanes, man. We have a game every Saturday. Hockey night in Canada, eh? 3-1 loss to Carolina. As Josh Norris is back. Shattenkirk wasn't happy about ice time, so we'll have to keep that in mind. But Josh Norris is back, which means Joel Farabee, who did put up 7 points in 10 games. It's not bad. I had a feeling he would do well. Oof, Galchenyuk, though, continues to drop. He's down to an 82. So that could be an issue. That could be an issue. So I will drop Farabee back down to the AHL, which is unfortunate that we have to do that, but we can, so why the hell not? And then, of course, Melker Karlsson will try to drop him down when Puljujärvi is back. So let's see. Just flat out replace him with Josh Norris. So Norris will be back in on the power play. All right, Galchenyuk, though. I'm going to swap... Do I want to swap Drouin with Galchenyuk? I mean, I'm just trying to think of what can make Galchenyuk a bit more happy here. I guess PK time. Really, so Deneau, Frolik, Tierney, and Shore. So Shore is the one who could go without it. So we'll take Shore out for Galchenyuk, and we'll see if that can kind of spark something with Galchenyuk to make him just a little bit more happy. Otherwise, we can bump him up to the top power play unit as well. I don't really think that's going to factor in too much, although Drouin is having a really good season. Actually, you know what? We could try Galchenyuk on the left. I'm surprised Shattenkirk's complaining about ice time too. So here, you know what? Let's try Galchenyuk on the left. And I'll have Pacioretty with Norris and Kapanen. And then also with the PK, let's see, we have Nurse, Dumba, Jules. I'd like to have Quentin Hughes there, but you know what? We will take out Quentin Hughes for Shattenkirk. It sucks that we have to have 2 righties then on that line, but it is what it is, and we'll try to balance having, some of these players currently being unhappy. But Josh Norris is back. Again, I'll just go best lines to get Farabee back here in the lineup where he should be. Let me take out Emery for Semin, and we're good. Yep, just like that, we're good. Sweet. So let's continue on here. Norris is back. Hopefully people can stay healthy now. We do lose our 2nd consecutive game and our 3rd in our last 4 games. A 3-2 loss to Philly, so I'd really like to pick up the win here against Ottawa. That's also a loss. 3 straight losses. We've lost 4 out of our last 5. Thankfully, that streak is snapped with a win over the Minnesota Wild. We really need a win here against Tampa, and we get it. A 4-2 victory. All right, let's sim the final 2 games of the month here. We'll move to January of 2022. And we'll scout the defense for 5 weeks. So let's see here. A game against Buffalo. 3-1 loss, but we are able to beat the Islanders for the second time in 2 weeks. So at the end of December and moving into January, our record stands at 23-11-2. Still solid, especially considering some of the injury trouble that we've had. The Laval Rocket are doing really well. 24-11-5 on the season. We'll take a look at the standings really quick before jumping back into a little bit more simming. We are currently on top of the division. All right, so despite our losing ways there in the middle of the month, we are still tied with Tampa for the division lead. We have a game at hand. We have 3 games at hand on Florida, who are only a point back. So it is a very close division race. We might not have made the most of our extra games, or those the games we hadn't played yet. We might not have made the most of that, but we are still in first place, and we are absolutely in competition for that division title at this stage as we approach the halfway mark of the season without Jesse Puljujärvi in our lineup. We are currently the 5th best team in the league. And if you look at point percentage, we have the 2nd best point percentage in the league. Arizona's still killing it, though. So let's see, goals for per game. We still have the league's 3rd highest offensive output, which is nice. 2.64 goals against per game, though. Actually isn't too bad. That's one of the lower goals against averages, so that's not too bad at all. Our power play stands at 23%, which is top 10 in the league. Our penalty kill is at 86%, which is the 2nd best in the league. Detroit, the worst, 2nd worst team in the league, currently has the league's best PK. Figure that one out, but we're still doing incredibly well. Special teams is going well. I have a feeling it's just our goaltending. I don't know. Let's take a look at some stats, because more than likely this episode's just going to be that little bit of extra progress. I don't think we're going to get to the end of the season. That way, we can get to the point where we can decide at that point if we want to make changes. Pacioretty has 20 points in 23 games. I cannot complain. He hit 74 points last year. Don't think he'll hit that this year. Obviously, with him missing games, but he's still doing all right. Jonathan Drouin, of course, is having a very solid season. Currently our leading scorer with 31 points in 36 games. Slightly off the pace, though, from what he had last year, that career high of 81 points. So that is a bit concerning. He is off the pace, so I'd like to see him bump up his scoring a little bit. I mean, I don't expect him to hit 81 again, but 70, I'd say, is a fair number. And right now, he's on pace to maybe hit that. And then, of course, Brendan Gallagher, 30 points in 36 games. Could be on his way to a new career high in points, which would be very nice. Josh Norris with 16 points in 26 games. Not too shabby at all. Galchenyuk, despite the little bit of an overall crisis, still has 25 points in 36 games. Kasperi Kapanen, by the way, set up as a sniper. 5 goals and 23 assists, 28 points in 36 games, perhaps on his way to a new career high. Michael Frolik doing incredibly well, earning that contract, that's for sure. Working well with Philip Deneau, who has 19 points. Melker Karlsson, 6 points and a +6. So he's kind of turning it around, fighting for a contract. Chris Tierney with 10 points, 8 points for Nick Shore, 5 points for Mike McCarron. On defense, that top pairing of Dumba and Nurse continue to work well together. Hughes and Juleson, they could be better. But Mete and Shattenkirk are still working well together. The goaltending, McNiven is up over a 900 save percentage. Price only at a 918. So we're getting league average goaltending from Carey Price, which isn't ideal when he's the highest paid goalie in the game. You would at least still assume up to this point. But we are in first place in the division. And I'll say the same thing now that I said at the start of this episode. If Carey can kind of get that save percentage up there, we could be, that much more of a dominant team. However, as we sim a week, we just lost 3 straight games. That's now 4 out of our last 5 that we have lost yet again. A shootout loss to Washington is really the only bright point. We are going to sim another week here. We'll have 2 games. We get the shootout win, or the shutout win over the Rangers. Back-to-back 4-0 wins. How do you like that? over Metro Division opponents. 25-13-3 on the season. We have 3 games against the Bruins in the next week. That is insane. Let's go ahead and send to January 23rd and see the result of those games. Our 3rd straight shutout win, but unfortunately, Matt Dumba will go down to injury here. He's only going to be out for about a week, but that is still, of course, a very unfortunate injury for us to pick up at this point in time. Matt Dumba, the anchor of our defense, and that will result in Bourque getting the call-up yet again. Although, Norm Jenks, yeah, we'll go with Simon Bourque again. Simon Bourque gets the call-up. Let me, well, actually, here's the problem. Because the power play and PK is doing well, I'm going to sub in Bourque straight up for Nurse, I think. Nurse is, wow, Nurse is actually listed as an extra attacker, huh? I don't know if I agree with that. Let's have, so what, it was Pacioretty, and let's have Galchenyuk. And then for shootout, Drouin, Pacioretty, Kapanen, let's put in Gallagher. Where's good old Gally? There he is. Okay, so that's good. And then on defense here, I'm going to put Shattenkirk. Actually, how's that second pairing doing? You know, that second pairing, they're just going to be a thing. So yeah, I'm going to go Shattenkirk and Nurse. And then we'll have Mete and Bourque as the 3rd pairing. But Bourque is going to have crucial ice time on the power play and on the PK just for this week. So I don't have to sit here and edit the lines for an ungodly amount of time. We will go best lines here. Whoa. Puljujarvi's back. Okay, that complicates things. I was wondering what the hell happened there. Puljujarvi's back. It's a shame because Melker Karlsson's doing well. And I don't think we can send him down without losing him. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to healthy scratch Melker Karlsson. I actually didn't even mean to go to that. Well, and that really is unfortunate too because that means Gallagher might have to drop back down to the 3rd line. I mean, we got to do what we got to do. So we're going to go best lines. Let's see here. Swap Gallagher over. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change all of this stuff again. All right, so Melker Karlsson will be a healthy scratch, but this is what the team is going to look like again. Let's go Nurse, Shattenkirk. All right. So the power play: Pacioretty, Drouin, Puljujarvi. Let's go. What do we want to do here? I'm going to have to change this again, too, which kind of sucks. We'll take Nurse out. And we'll go, yep, so we'll take out Darnell Nurse. And we'll put in Norris. I'm going to go Puljujarvi there. So it'll be Pacioretty. No, it won't be. It'll be Galchenyuk, Drouin, Gallagher, Pacioretty, Norris, Kapanen. So Puljujarvi still has that top time too. Although actually Shattenkirk was complaining, so we could go with Hughes, Shattenkirk, and then Pacioretty, Norris, Kapanen, Mete, Puljujarvi. I think that's what we'll do. It is certainly tough to try and balance keeping everybody happy, but we are doing what we can. As far as extra righties, that means Noah Juulsen's going to get some time. We're going to have to change this up again, too, not once Darnell Nurse is back, but once Matt Dumba is back. And then on the PK, we're going to take out Shore for Galchenyuk. And I don't want to take out Chris Tierney. You know what? Yeah, it'll have to be Galchenyuk. It'll have to be Galchenyuk. So we'll have Nurse, Juulsen. We'll take out Bourque for Quentin Hughes. We'll have Hughes and Shattenkirk. So actually, you know what? The 3v3 lines are fine. Oh, getting the... Wow, really? It has Philip Deneau there, huh? Oh, let's go with... You know what? I mean, again, we got to set this up the right way. You got to take the time to set it up the right way. You don't want to make the mistake of being lazy with it. So we have all of those lines set up. That is what we are going to roll with here. Unfortunately, again, Melker Karlsson will be a healthy scratch. And then I want to take out Emery for Semin again. And we're good. Let's move forward. Like I said, Darnell Nurse will be back very soon. We did lose to Winnipeg. We beat the Bruins and then lose to Washington. And now Dumba is back. So the win-loss trend continues. And unfortunately, let's go ahead and set all of this up again. We got to do what we got to do. I mean, again, I like the added drama of the injuries. Yes, it can be a little bit of a pain to have to, set up the lines like this, this consistently. But it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Does it add to the episode time? Is it a little bit boring? Perhaps. But again, the drama, the added drama of, not just like, oh, we're missing this amazing player, but the added drama of some team missing one of their better players can certainly add to a series, definitely a playoff series and a playoff race. So again, I have to set up the power play. I'm sorry. Bear with me. So it will be, let's take him out for Hughes. And it'll be Dumba that gets taken out for, not right wing, centers, Josh Norris. So let's go ahead and fix that up. So there we go. It's going to be Galchenyuk, Drouin Gallagher with Hughes and Shattenkirk. Pacioretty, Norris Kapanen with Mete and Puljujarvi. On the other power play option. Just take out Nurse for Quentin Hughes. That looks good. The PK, again, we're going to take out Shore for, it's got to be Galchenyuk to try and keep him happy. I would prefer it to be Gallagher, but it's got to be this setup right here. And we'll put in Quentin Hughes again to give him another opportunity. We'll go Philip Deneau. Set the team up one more time. Again, we'll take out... Actually, Shattenkirk needs that PK time. That's right. I was taking out Hughes for Shattenkirk. I completely forgot. So there we go. That's at least good to go. And then down in the AHL, one more time. Let's go best lines to get Simon Bork back. And we'll put in Semin. I'm glad that Semin, putting in Vladimir Semin on the fourth line, that's all I have to do. And then the team is pretty much good to go. So we're set up yet again. Let's at least get to the end of January as we beat the Bruins all 3 times. Wow. All right, we have 2 games left in the next 9 days. We play Pittsburgh and Buffalo. We could hit 30 wins if we win both games. That would be a good way to end the month, which is why we lost to Pittsburgh 3-2 and then lost in a shootout to the Buffalo Sabres, also by the score of 3-2. I suppose it was wishful thinking. 1 point out of 4. Not exactly the best ratio there, but we hit February 1st. We have a 28-16-4 record. The Laval Rocket at 31-14-6. Impressive considering the amount of injury concerns. I don't expect us to be in first place. We've had way too many losses lately. We're currently in second place, tied in games with Tampa, but 4 points back. They have those 2 extra wins, so you see how that factors in. We're 3 points clear of Florida with 3 games at hand, and we are currently 4 points clear of Buffalo, but they have a game at hand, so that loss to Buffalo didn't really help. It is still very close. Of course, Tampa have been kings of this division for a very long time, but despite injuries, we are still up there. Obviously, we've been losing a bit more consistently than we would have liked. But so far, I'm still impressed with this team. Max Pacioretty, by the way, 29 points in 35 games. It's a damn shame that he has missed time due to injury, because this may have been able to be a career year for him. Jonathan Drouin has 40 points in 48 games. Again, not quite on the same pace he was last year, but 70 points at the very least is absolutely obtainable for him. Jesse Puljujarvi, 16 points in 23 games. Not bad. Of course, he hit 71 points last year, so that's why I'm keeping him as a two-way. So he still has a good point per game percentage right now. I'm hoping he hits at least 45 to 50 points. Him hitting 50 points would be great. That's my max level expectation for him. Josh Norris with 20 points in 38 games, not terrible. Not terrible. I mean, especially too, he missed some time due to injury. It is his rookie season. Again, we're probably, giving him a little bit more than what we should be at this point in time. You could argue that right now the best decision for him would be to drop him, not down to the AHL level, but to simply just not care about lefties and righties and go with the setup like this. Have Galchenyuk, and actually, funny thing is, Gallagher's probably the better option. The face-offs are the same. You could argue it would make sense to go with Gallagher on the second line, and it definitely will once we look at the point totals. Speaking of Galchenyuk, though, 12 goals, 21 assists, 33 points in 48 games. So despite his overall being much lower than it should be, and that just doesn't appear to bounce. That's not going to bounce back, apparently. So, wishful thinking. Josh Norris hopefully is ready to take his spot very soon. I'm thinking our top six for the future will be Norris at center with Joel Farabee on the left, which seems like a pretty damn good setup. But for now, Galchenyuk is still doing very well this season, as is Kasperi Kapanen. 36 points in 48 games, well on his way to a new career high in points. He hit that last year with 56 points in 77 games, so I'm very impressed with him at this stage. Michael Frolik, speaking of impressed, 28 points in 48 games. Like I said, bare minimum. My third liners need to get 30 points. I'd love for them to get over 40 points. He hit 41 points last year. Well on his way to doing that yet again this season. Philip Deneau with 22 points, so he'll at the very least hit that minimum. He did hit 40 points in real life. His best point total so far in this series has been 39 points. He's done that twice. I don't expect him to break the 40-point mark. He'll at least break 30, and I'm cool with that. And then, of course, Brendan Gallagher, 37 points in 48 games. So, again, if it's a common suggestion, we can easily do it. We can drop Josh Norris down to the third line. And in all honesty, he should probably play center. I think I'd more than likely move Frolik to the right. Of course, by default, he's a right wing. We moved him to a left wing, but we could easily go with that as the third line setup. There's no issue with that, but I am obviously giving Josh Norris every opportunity that I can to succeed, even if it is perhaps a bit too much too soon. Chris Tierney with 11 points so far this year. Again, solid enough third, fourth liner, good bottom six guy. Fourth liners, if you can hit 20 points, cool. He hit 23 last year. Well on his way to breaking the 20-point mark this year. Nick Shore with 9 points. Not too bad. Again, I'm not really upset with that. 7 points for McCarron, but he's kind of that guy to have on the fourth line. So, again, I'm cool with it. If you look at, are there alternatives to players that we could have on the fourth line? Yeah, perhaps. You look at someone like a Murray Highnote, he is listed as a fourth line guy. You could argue now's the time to call him up, even though, if we don't do it this year, next year for sure. Although he should be happy morale-wise. Typically, if someone starts off as a minor league player and they turn into a fourth line guy throughout the middle of the season, they won't typically complain about ice time. Case in point, he is happy right now. So it might be worth just letting him tear up the AHL for the rest of the year and then calling him up next season. Defensively, despite injuries, 19 points, a plus 10 for Darnell Nurse. His career high in points was 20. So, yeah, way to go, Darnell. He's going to break that, no problem. Matt Dumba has missed a little bit of time, but he has 28 points. His career high is 35, so he's looking good. He hit 17 goals last year. He has already broken the assist mark that he had last year, and he should set a new career high in assists, despite missing some time this season. Quentin Hughes is a -5, but he does have 19 points. Of course, last year down in the AHL, he had 61 points in 79 games. So again, much like with Josh Norris, we're giving him that increased role perhaps a little bit early. But there's no doubt he's going to grow into a legitimate top 4 defenseman. Although you could argue, he hasn't grown yet. Maybe it is too much too soon. And we should, maybe put Shattenkirk with Juleson, despite the fact that they are two righties, and I typically like to try and avoid that. You could argue that we're perhaps stunting his growth a little. I don't know. You could choose to view that one of two ways, and that it won't make a difference. Because, for example, Victor Mete is playing where he should. He's not improving. I mean, granted, he is kind of at his potential. He is a top 6 defenseman. He's going to be a great third pairing guy for us for a while, potentially. He has 7 points this year, so he's not putting up a tremendous amount of points. He is a +8. Noah Juleson has 3 points, by the way. One of our better defensive D-men. And then Kevin Shattenkirk has 29 points so far this year. He hit 35 last year, so a nice bounce-back season for him. So, overall, is there anybody that I'm disappointed in? No. Not at all. I mean, yeah, you could ask for a little bit more scoring maybe from a couple of players. McCarron, maybe. I'm not disappointed. I'm still really happy with the way this team is set up. I can't complain. The big question is goaltending. And Carey Price is, in fact, up to a .924 save percentage. So it is pretty funny to think that now that his save percentage, continues to climb, that we're losing games a bit more consistently. Clearly, though, despite the fact we don't run with our backup all that much, Michael McNiven doesn't appear to be the guy, which is a damn shame. Now, he isn't listed as a backup goalie yet, so we might not have to give up on him. We could send him down and let he and Hallinan be the 1-2 punch. So I'm thinking, and you know what, we might just do it right now. Let's take a look around the league and see if there are any goalies anybody is shopping right now, because as we have seen, trading for players that teams don't want to get rid of can be extremely annoying and tedious. So let's take a look here. Are there any backup level goaltenders being shopped right now that we could look to pick up? Zane McIntyre, probably not. No, minor league starter. 78 overall in Luukkonen. Minor league starter. No, thank you. We're looking for a legitimate backup goalie. Corey Crawford's down to a 79. Expiring deal, .917 save percentage. Wow, Corey Crawford's 37 years old at this point. That would be interesting. Bringing the hometown boy back home. Or not back home. I mean, he's never played for the Habs. But, man, we still have $10 million in cap space, by the way. Right now, Corey Crawford's the favorite. Is there anybody else? Varlamov. Semyon Varlamov. Whew. 955 in 14 games. However, he has 2 years left on that deal. Despite the fact that we have cap space, I would want them to retain salary. So, some possibilities. Wow, Korpisalo is being moved. We have no need for him. Same with Neuwirth. Let's take a look. Who hasn't played 3 years? Good Lord. No, thank you. No, thank you. So right now, Chicago and Colorado are two interesting teams to look at. Aaron Dell made it up to an 81. He only has a 908. Cheap deal, though. 81 overall. That's nearly, max backup value is 82. 82 is either that's the best backup you can get, or you start to be a starting goaltender. So that's not bad. Roberto Luongo down to a 75 at 42 years old. Damn. So I really like Aaron Dell for his overall, but we do know that overall isn't everything. And he currently has that 908 save percentage. Florida, the Panthers, they're not terrible. So I think he's just underperforming. So we'll avoid him. Nobody on Nashville. 83 overall. Wow, Corey Schneider. Expiring deal, too. He only has a 905. But what a rental that would be. Corey Schneider. Thomas Greiss as well. Expiring deal, a 914 save percentage. So hold on one second. Again, so for Chicago. Nope, not Colorado. Chicago first, please. It was Corey Crawford with a 917. Crawford with a 917. Dreger, not worth checking out. Varlamov with a 955, but the problem is cap retention. And for that reason, I'm probably just going to leave him out of the deal because I don't think they'd retain salary. And we'd have to give up even more to make that happen. But he does have 955. That's crazy. There wasn't anybody on Nashville. It's New Jersey. Actually, no, wait, Florida. Had Aaron Dell. He was, 908? So no thank you there. New Jersey 905 for Schneider, so I mean, he might be the safer bet, but Crawford does have a better save percentage, although Schneider has started more games. Greiss with a 914, so that's about even. Again, you can't just trust overall, because what have we seen, guys, in these series? 76 overall goaltenders having success. So, overall isn't everything. I mean, obviously, it's like you sit there and you think, yeah, Corey Schneider would be a great pickup. Thomas Greiss, better overall at this point than Corey Crawford, but about even in save percentage. But maybe Greiss is the safer bet. However, we would be trading within the Eastern Conference, so, yeah. Who else do we have here? We still got some other teams to check out. This will be the last thing we do in this episode, as trade deadline comes a little bit early. You got Brian Elliott, who has not played and has 2 years left. No thank you. Anybody else? Anybody at all? Nobody from Tampa. Vancouver, they're shopping Robin Lehner. You'll hopefully never play for one of my teams again after the Nations United debacle. All right, so when it comes down to it, you have Crawford, Varlamov, Dell, or Greiss or Schneider. So the obvious person I'd love to target is Corey Schneider. But he's kind of struggling. How are the Devils? Yeah, they're not a great team. I mean, he would just be a rental, obviously. But I do like the idea of, bringing Corey Crawford to Montreal as our backup. I got to admit, unless we could get Varlamov for cheap, I'm going to go with Crawford. But even then, Varlamov might complain about ice time, and he's here for 2 years. Next year, McNiven might be ready and might be a legitimate backup. Crawford's dirt cheap. I'm going for Corey Crawford. He's a dirt cheap pickup at this point. Chicago's not looking like a playoff team. All we have to do is, actually, we don't even have to tack on one of these goalies, although I probably should. Yeah, so then it would be Jack Campbell, who's going to be the 5th goaltender instead of Dustin Tokarski. Although, you could keep Tokarski. For the old Montreal history, we'll keep Tokarski. We'll try to throw Campbell. Will that go through? I figured I'd try, right? What do they want for skaters? Anybody that we're willing to give up? I mean, yeah. I'll give you De La Rovere. Are you all right with that? They're not all right with that. It's quite close to fair value. So what I'll do is I'll throw in the other... I'll throw him in there too. And we'll see if we can take back a 5th. Maybe even a 4th. You know what? Let's try to be a little bit sneaky. How about even a 4th and a 6th? What do you say, Chicago? No. Yeah, see, they don't want both of them. Okay. Which I figured would be the case. So how about a 6th round pick next year? What do you say to that? No. Straight up didn't go through either. Okay, that's right. They said we were close from that point. Is there a defenseman that is currently unsigned that I could tack on here? Bam! Tambellini. They don't want him, but I might just be able now to add, say, even a 7th round pick next year to make myself feel better. Will that go through? Yes, it will. Corey Crawford, welcome to Montreal. The only concern is, what if McNiven gets claimed? That is the only concern at this point. We will double check to see what his trade value is. Because obviously I don't want to lose him for free if I think there's a really good chance that he could be claimed. So let's take a look at McNiven's value. No, I doubt it. If anything, he's like a 6th round pick at best. So yeah, we'll try to send him down, which also makes me think he won't be backup worthy at any point. But yeah, for now, we'll send him down. If by some miracle he gets claimed, oh well, we'll just sign somebody else. So McNiven, we'll see you. Woof, claimed. Michael McNiven gets claimed, and that is a oh shit. Well, I'll have to fix the power play lines and everything off screen. God damn it. God damn it. As Corey Crawford is the backup. I didn't mean to do that, but son of a bitch. I didn't want to have to do that again on screen or off. We might as well see. I wouldn't be against trading to get him back because that would, make some people on this team happy. Let's see. Where or who were you claimed by? Winnipeg. Winnipeg are the bastards that claimed him for absolutely no reason. I want him back, to be honest. I do. So, let's see. And it'll make some people happy to reclaim him or to reacquire him as well. So, Winnipeg, yeah, if you could not, we'll gladly take McNiven back from you, if you don't mind. Are there any players you would like? How about a Holmqvist? And, wow, I actually have quite a few players that I'm never going to sign. How about a Holmqvist and a Humphrey? They would have too few goalies. Are you shitting my nuts right now? I mean, are people friendly with Tokarski? Hopefully not. Just Mahler. All right. Well, Dustin, I'm sorry, buddy, but I think you're on your way out because this is gonna boost the morale for players. Like I can't even look anymore, but that's fine. Well, they only had 2 goalies signed. That is screwed. How about a 4th and a 6th rounder? What do you say to this? No? Just the 4th? Still no. All right, well, hey, we'll see what else is up. How about the 5th? 5th round pick, please? This is taking so much longer than I would have thought. We're due for another 50-minute episode here. Will this go through? No. Straight up. Still no, and they're not even happy about it. Okay. I can see why they claimed him, though. Why don't they just sign a goalie, though? I don't get it. We'll tack on Kallio to the deal. Still no. Is this worth it? Probably not, but what else are we going to get? Like just nothing draft picks? Can this please go through? Thank you. Michael McNiven's back. All right, well, hey, what did we do to acquire Michael McNiven? Oh, wow, it just signed somebody for me. Are you kidding? Damn it, because it put McNiven there by default. If I lose him again, okay, good. This time we didn't lose him. Probably because I gave up Tokarski. So that does suck that it signed that goalie for me. I'm actually going to go sign that goalie myself so that we still have 5 goalies. So it's Korea. Daryl Korea, and he is hot garbage. So we'll sign him and look to trade him, but there you go. McNiven now the backup. I'll have to change all of the Habs lines again. But let me go sign that player. So unfortunately, Dustin Tokarski, I wanted to keep him, but that is the side effect of... that is the side effect of having to send him down. But we do reacquire him, and unfortunately, a lot of the players that were upset about him leaving, they're not even affected by me reacquiring him because, they're just upset about him leaving the team. So, of course, he's back down at the AHL level. So, we probably just should have accepted the fact that he was gone, but hey, it's fine. And this Korea guy does want an entry-level deal, which is fine, whatever. We'll sign him up. It's cool. No worries. Everything will be fine. We'll get rid of him at the draft. We'll have to throw in some draft picks or whatever. If we throw in him in a 7th for a 7th next year, that should go no problem. But for now, guys, that will do it. We end this episode, again, 4 points back of the Lightning. We get the upgrade in goaltending with Corey Crawford, the hometown boy. And we'll see what happens moving forward. Of course, I am going to have to set up the lineups again, but let me know what you think. I imagine the popular opinion will be to have Gallagher in the top 6. We currently have the 9th best record in the league with, what would that be? The 7th best point percentage. So not too bad. Goals for per game. We have slipped a little bit, but we're still in the top 10. Goals against per game is still one of the lower numbers, actually the 6th lowest in the league. So it's actually our offense that is slipping a little bit. Our power play percentage still at 23%, top half of the league, just outside the top 10 from the looks of it. Our penalty kill is at 86.3%, the best PK in the league. I think that sums it up fairly well. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode, you know what you gotta do to support the video that little bit extra. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Links are in the description. I'm not even going to... He's with Tarasenko, so it's fine. Links are in the description to my Twitter and Twitch. Give me a follow on either of those platforms if you have not already done so. It will be greatly appreciated. And I will see you guys in the next episode, where we will look to finish up this season. And hopefully we can stay competitive and maybe somehow find a way to win a division title. Wishful thinking, I know. I don't know why, but I'm optimistic. What can I say? I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Have a good one. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Adios. Sayonara. Later. Peace. Love. Rev Run. I don't know. I'm out of words.